Shalom, Yasharallah. This is your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Waharakah, Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. The salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. All right, I want to get into this quick little lesson. Just touching on this here Stephen Hopkins deal. Really, he's really a nobody or nothing like that, but there's edification that can come out with that, you know. So with that, we're going to jump right on into it. This is Isaiah chapter 25 and 4. So like here. 24 and 5. This is Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. All right? Now, we know that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, which being Esau. All right? And Esau is in rulership over all these things. All right? And he got his so-called wise men up and changing all these, like it says, transgressing the laws. It says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenants. He ain't changing the ordinances and transgressing the laws, you know. And what's that going back into? The Most High's commandments, you know. When he created certain things and put everything in order, you want to change everything, you know. You exalt yourself above everything that is called God. This is Esau, you know. He wants to sit here and say, I will be like God. It's basically what he's saying. And how do you say that? Okay, God said he created mankind. Well, I'm going to say I created mankind. How you do that? With evolution. Okay? The Most High said he created the heavens and the earth. Well, what did Esau say? Nah, the Big Bang created that. And that's where this here lesson come into play. So we're going to jump into the next scripture with that. This is the book of Genesis. I'm going to go to Psalms real quick. This is Psalms 14 and 1. It says, This is Psalms 14 and 1, a Psalm of David. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So, you know, we hear this all the time. The fool said in his heart, there is no God, all right? So Esau's transgressing the ordinances and the laws and everything like that the Most High has established. The Most High commanded and created all these things, you know, through his son Yahushua, you know. But Esau is the one who's going to exalt himself above everything that's called God, you know. He said he created all these things, you know, and there is no God. He is God, you know. But he's a fool. The fool said in his heart, there is no God, all right? Jump over to the book of Romans. Romans 1, actually. This is Romans chapter 1, starting at verse 17. It says, or verse 18. For the wrath of Yahweh is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who should hold the truth in unrighteousness. So the Most High basically finna bring judgment on all those who don't want to take heed to his word, more or less is what it's saying. All right? Or anybody who's transgressing. First of all, with Esau, it's more or less talking about our people, because Esau is going to get it regardless. You know, even if Esau wanted to be right, you know. If Esau wanted to, he's not going to want to do all that. The wicked ain't going to understand. But, you know, if you did have it in that case, that would probably more or less be a confusion to face. But, you know, Esau ain't going to, he's not going to get right at all. But it says, because, verse 19, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. Okay? Bro, you already know it's on the inside, bro. It's just, the fool said in his heart, there's no God. There's too much intricate shit on this planet Earth and the things outside of the Earth for there not to be a creator. Okay? It says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. Now, this is some real deep scientific stuff right here. Okay? So this is getting into some science. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. Right? Now, let's say inside your house you got a wall that's painted green, right? Now, you can see the green on the wall, right? But do you see the atoms and the elements and stuff like that that make up each molecule of paint? No, you don't see none of that stuff. What you see is you see a whole green wall, but you don't see all the things that make up all of that stuff. When you look out the window and you see a tree, do you see the nutrients and the vitamins and all that stuff going through that to make that up? No, you don't see all that. When you eat food, you don't see all the vitamins and nutrients and all that stuff when you eat it, but you know it's nourishing your body, right? So the things, let me see, it says, for the visible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. You can't see atoms and elements, and you can't see none of that stuff. Well, you can see elements, but certain elements, but you can't see atoms and stuff like that. But when they all come together, you get all the objects that you see. Everything that you see is made up of, well, how do you say it? What do they call them? Atoms, neutrons, protons, and all that extra shit like that. You don't see those things, but you see objects, right? So, come on now. It says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things which are made. Yeah, so again, like I just said, you don't see these elements or these atoms and all these extra shits, but you see the objects that you see before you, all right? It says, being understood by the things that are made, even the eternal power of Godhead and Godhead, so they are without excuse. There's no breaking down with that. There ain't no excuse for this, you know? Because when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were they thankful. Yeah, when you realize, when you see there's a creator, right? That the goddamn earth is spinning at the right speed for your ass to still be on this bitch, you know? And that the moon is at the first of all, the moon and the earth is at the right size so that the moon don't float the fuck away or collide into the earth. And that the moon is at the right size ratio, that it has the right amount of pull on it, that it don't pull all the water off the earth or flood the whole earth or put so much pressure on your body when it's a full moon, you know, that it just collapses all your organs and stuff like that, you know, or that the earth is at the exact amount of space, you know. If it was a foot closer to the sun, we would all burn up. If it was a foot further from the sun, we would all freeze to death. Okay? If the moon was a foot further from us, we wouldn't have the same gravitational pull. If it was a little closer, we would again. So you see all these, just looking at that right there, you're like, come on now. Who designed this and who put this, who how do you know? It's just like Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola didn't just come together. Somebody had to put that formula together to get that certain taste, or baking a cake or whatever. They had to come together with these certain ingredients to tell you how to make this certain kind of cake, and then they give you the recipe, and then you keep repeating it. You're not just putting random shit together. All I'm gonna put an egg, a tire, some leaves, and some dirt together, and hopefully I get a goddamn a key lime pie. That ain't gonna work out. And see, this is what these motherfuckers want you to believe, that you can just have random shit like that and get something, get something out of nothing. All right. It says, because when they knew God, they glorified him not as God. Okay, exalting themselves as everything that is known, exalting themselves of everything that can be God, more or less to say, roughly paraphrasing. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imagination. Yeah, oh, well, I know everything. I'm going to just, I got my theory about this and that. That's going to be the end-all, be-all. We know what the Bible says, but I'm going to come up with my own theory, and I'm going to have that be the end-all, be-all, It says, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Okay? And I love this right here, because this is, what do you call a teacher in a college? They call them professors. What does a teacher in a college do? What is his job to do? To do what? Profess. And what do they normally profess in these colleges? A bunch of lies and bullshit. Esau's indoctrination. Alright? It says professing them, and in college, pretty much all they're doing is breaking down the whole scriptures the opposite way. Whatever's in the scriptures, they tell you they got to come up with some kind of doctrine to combat with that, Like the creation story, which this video is based off of this topic, What do they tell you about? Oh, the Big Bang Theory. You got to know that and believe that, or else you ain't going to be able to graduate, It says, professing themselves to be wise. Okay, and this is these professors in these colleges, these so-called smart, intelligent Edomites, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like it's a corruptible man. Yeah, y'all think y'all God, but y'all ass is corruptible. And corrupted already. You already corrupted. You vile, base, lowest man on planet Earth. And like unto corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts that creep and creeping things. Yeah, you make like the Egyptian gods, half man, half dog, half man, half bird type of shit, and say that that's God, But the Most High said He created us in His image. So how the hell you mix with a bird and a damn human? Why ain't you either all the way a bird or all the way a human? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Grab one more precept. I'll close out with this one. So like we just read, professing themselves to be wise, they become fools, right? And the things that was, it was manifest in them, and these things is clearly seen, It says Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, okay? And so that's, you don't need you got what do they call a Big Bang theory. This is what you think happened with no proof, no evidence. You can't even test the shit out. It's just what you think, all right? But here, the very first word, the very first line, the very first verse in the very first book of the whole Bible, it lets you know, it's the book, the word Genesis means the beginning. So in the beginning of the beginning, starting with the beginning verse, they tell you how the planet got here. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So this creation that we live on called earth, okay, and us being a creation that lives on this creation that we call earth was created by a creator. Those words all go together. You can't have a creation without a creator, okay? But nevertheless, these people professing themselves to be wise. I ain't got no college education, but these niggas are stupid. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, and it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And He called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So, here's where, you can keep on reading on down, but this is the creation of the damn planet right here. All right? So the very first thing you would read if you was to open up the book of the Bible, the first book of the Bible is the creation story. And it's like we just read, it's manifested. Somebody just told you this, but just look around. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like we lucky and blessed, not lucky, we blessed that we have a creator that loves us to tell us these things, just so we don't have to just sit here and be like, I wonder if, no, we sure of these things because it's clearly seen, and He told us, and He don't lie. Nothing He said and came back void yet, and He ain't lied yet. But yet with that, we're gonna go ahead and close out because, like I said, it's just a little short lesson, dealing with that dude that died, because people want to hold him in high, our people at least, want to hold him in high standard, or put him on a pedestal more or less. Oh, this guy's so smart, this and that. But at the end of the day, homeboy came up with a so-called theory. This is what he thinks is going to happen. With no evidence, no proof, no nothing. It's just a theory, okay? And so it's like a conspiracy theory. Y'all talk about conspiracy theory, people who conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call them. But, and that just means basically you conspiring or conspire, with spire, breath, with one breath, or y'all on one accord, you're in agreement with one other person, basically to commit a crime, all right? But then, you put a theory on it, and it's like, okay, well, you think two people are coming together to go do this deal, But then now you have, these people who will talk about stuff like that. Oh, yeah, y'all ain't got no facts with your conspiracy theories. Where's your facts and your proof for this and that? But y'all wholeheartedly believe into what they call a Big Bang theory, all right? Instead of the creation story, which is manifested, like I said, well, like the scriptures say, but also like the scriptures say, professing themselves to be wise, they become fools, And the Most High gave them over to their vanity, and it's basically just to be retarded, reprobates, This is the definition of a reprobate. You didn't went all this extra hard to go try to find some shit out, and you got people believing in stuff like Darwinism and evolution and all this stuff. When you pair those two together, Darwinism, or evolution. You know, you got people evolving over billions and billions of years, and then the Big Bang Theory, where the Earth evolved from billions and billions of years. But then this nigga Stephen Hopkins talking about he knew what happened before the Big Bang Theory. I'm like, all right, so wait a minute. You can't tell me what happened in the Dark Ages, like around the 1300s and before, a little bit before that, because it was a lack of information. But you can tell me what happened not only in Egypt, which was before that, but you can tell me what happened at the Big Bang, like the Big Bang when it happened. Not only that, you can tell me what happened before that. However, in your timeline, the Big Bang had to happen first. Then the planet, over billions of years, had to become the planet. Then after that, billions of years after that, people had to evolve after that. So let's just say 1 billion years for the planet and 1 billion years for the people to evolve. That's 2 billion fucking years. You telling me you got information on what happened before that with no proof, no evidence, but yet, you know what I'm saying, you can't tell me what happened in the Dark Ages. And information has only been recorded for the last past 5,000 years. You only got I believe if I'm not mistaken, you only have written documentation of anything going back like 5,000 some years. And really, when you dig deep into the scriptures, it all lines up perfectly. You know, you have the same allotted time frame, you know, and so, you know, there's no real question. And when you go through these 6 days here in the scriptures here, you know, when you really go deep into it, it's not actual 1 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's not like that. No. You know, you can go a little deeper into it. It's pretty much, you know, like the scriptures say, 1 day is like 1,000 years. 1 day to the Lord is like 1,000 years to us, you know. So, you know, Esau and his shit, you know, like I said, professing themselves to be wise, they become fools, you know. And so you got to come up out of that stuff. You can't be joining hand with the wicked, you know, or want to put your strength in Egypt, you know. Stop following after, or this ain't your arrest, you know. Get up off of Esau, you know, and up off his nuts, basically, because he just bringing you down to destruction, you know. We bring you out this truth, you know. You just come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and we about to be up out of here. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close out and say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Shalom.